coronavirus comes numerous opportunities, regardless of the darkness of it too, which is sorrow, mourning, bereavement from so many families, and then the fear that is creeping in. But it also comes with the opportunity of time at home, time to look back, time to reflect, time to get connected with God, time to rectify one's life. That's when I say rewriting your life. For those who didn't understand, I mean rectify your life, turn it around to the right direction if it has not been right. This is the time to turn your life around, opportunity for change. That's what we are saying. You can rewrite. This is the time to swing around your vehicle of life. Make a U-turn. If you have deviated from the Father and from the Creator, swing around, make a U-turn and say, I shall return to my Father. I know I have a house there. I know I have a place in my Father's house. I've gone astray. U-turn. Turn your car around, make a U-turn, drive back home. This is the time for resolutions. This is the time for sharing. So, take a few. Add some more for me. There are lessons. One, that you must now begin to do all the good that you can possibly do now. This is the time to do good. And what ample opportunity coronavirus brings to us? Because with coronavirus, many are rendered jobless, many cannot find food, many are struggling, many are sick. We have the opportunity now to reach out. This is a chance. So that's why I said coronavirus has some positive points and things. It gives us a chance to see those who need help and to do some charity. Even if before you would have said, I can't see any poor person around me. Wow, now there are so many of them all around. Many have lost their jobs. Many cannot go to work and are not sure they will earn a wage at the end of this month, which ends today. The month ends today, April. Many are not sure they have a salary to earn. Perhaps you can begin to do something and share and give. It gives us the chance to do all the good, as I said. And I say all. Think of how much good you can do every day. Begin to do it now, immediately. Second lesson is that it comes to teach us that we still have a lot to do. Yes, that's the lesson from what I shared with you. You should allow it to go deep down in you and you really feel the way I felt. Just imagine all of a sudden finding that the earth has vanished and you don't have the chance to go back. Even to say back, or to even to say sorry to somebody who offended you. And you know that sorry you have not said will make you not to enter the mansion. And you want to be in the mansion, but you cannot go back and say sorry. Sorry! You have a lot to do. So, it comes to tell you that you have a lot to do. The message I'm sharing with you. You have a lot to do. Number 3. And that we still have a lot to polish in our lives. That's for those who even believe they are doing well. Even if you think, nobody to say sorry to, nobody to give any more than I have given all my life. I've given the best all my life. I've given everything that I have. Maybe you need to polish when you are given another chance to still be here today. Since I'm not sure of tomorrow, maybe you have today to polish the good you have been doing in the past. You can polish it. And begin to do it better, shine it. Maybe if you give with condescension, you give with love and humility. If you feel like a rich benefactor, this is the time to give rent, not like the benefactor, etc. You can polish what you're doing. If you normally will give what, maybe you can begin to give new clothes. That's what I mean by polishing even the good you've been doing, etc., etc. Can make it better. Now, even if normally will give leftover food, not about giving the best. Take it out of your freezer and give it while it is good, etc. Now, then number 4. This is a time to realize and say to yourself, with what I have shared with you, say to yourself, I must not disappoint my God. I must not disappoint Him. He has given me so much in every way and entrusted so much to my care. Therefore, I must arise now and look into all the areas of life that the Lord has entrusted to your care, and see that they are right and that they are in order in the sight of God. And tell yourself, I must not, write in capital letters, put in front of your mirror, I must not disappoint God. The disappointment will come from the fact that He has prepared a mansion. I saw the mansion. I saw them. I don't know how to name mansions because they are tall. You remember that the cloud disappeared. The skies gave way. So these structures that are calling mansions, I don't. This is the wrong word, but they are just so beautiful. Tall. Right up there from the ground up. Beautiful colors. Look, if Jesus says, I'm going to prepare, and He did say so, it's not if. Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. You must not disappoint Him. You must not be disappointed. So that where I am, you also will be. We must not let Him down. He has worked for it with His blood. He labored for that place. Like His blood on Calvary, His suffering, His life. Don't let Him down. Tell Him, Lord, so much that I may have a place in you, and I'm coming. You'll see there, Lord. I'll be with you. I won't let you down. I don't know where else. I'm coming to where you are. So we must not disappoint the Lord. Number 5. That revelation that I shared with you comes to tell you that there is really no time to waste. Lest it becomes too late, no time to waste. My dear people of God, we have a tendency to waste time on earth. But the Yorubas have an adage that says, "Ọlọ́run ló lásìkò." And I'm glad because this is the environment in which I grew up, and I heard it from my young days. Ọlọ́run ló lásìkò. Time. That time, God is the owner of time. In other words, time is not yours. And if time is not yours, and time cannot work, you dare not waste it. You can't afford to waste time. You can't afford to waste time. It's not yours to waste. It's not yours. No, time belongs to God. Time belongs to God.
Every minute. Use every minute of God-given time for God, for His glory, for His honor. When I say that, some skeptics are going to say, for goodness sake, did God not make us to be even happy and to have some time for ourselves? Oh yes. Even in being happy, your happiness can glorify God. Just like your happiness can be offensive to God, depending on what you mean by happiness. Happiness depends, it's qualitative.
But it depends on what you are calling happiness.
Where your happiness is offensive to God, you are wasting God's time. Where your happiness is glorifying God, I don't want anybody here.
Where your happiness is not glorifying God,
Then you have to look at it as a waste of life. You're wasting your life, you're wasting your time. Praise the Lord. So what you say, use your time to glorify God and do not waste time. Use every minute for God. I mean, doing His work, serving Him, worshiping Him, and even being happy. Even in your happiness, let it be a happiness for God, for the glory of God. Yes. We are not saying nothing else but just kneeling down and praying. That's what I know. Even the joys of life can be woven into the glory of God, so long as you do it and you don't offend the Lord. And you are sure you are not just spending the whole time of your life, as I call it, jaye, jaye, just pleasure, 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 and my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. You're not thinking of God's pleasure. After all, the scripture says, and you shall be called my delight. You shall be called what? My delight. So, even in your happy moments, be a delight to God. Be a joy to God. Be the joy of your Father. Just like a father is watching the children playing and they're playing happily, you're happy to see them laughing and playing. But by the time they start beating each other, pushing each other down, injuring one another, will their father watching them still be happy? No. So that's what it means. Our Father in heaven wants to see us happy, and our joy is His delight. So, our joy must be what? We delight God, not what will upset Him. Therefore, we have to avoid doing what will bring injury to our neighbor or to ourselves or to things He created in the name of happiness. So, while you are not happy, if you do what I'm saying, then your happiness becomes God's delight and useful in His sight, as well as your good works. So we are saying, do not waste time. It is not yours. Number 6. Do not allow anything and anybody created to prevent you from being ready and at right with God when that day comes. I know it can be any time. And like I said before, remember, it can be dramatically any time. You know what I mean by that? Dramatically any time, that means it may meet you on the road. It may meet you on the road. The other day, I heard that a pilot and some of the crew took off from an airport to carry medical goods or consignment to a country. The plane took off and immediately crash landed, and we were told not one single survivor. They were going to deliver medical goods. That's good work. They were not doing anything bad. They were in the process of their own normal duties. Not anything wrong. The plane took off and then crash landed there and then, still at the airport. I read that on the internet. And they all died. They have left planet Earth, you know. And whether they are now in that beautiful place or in the wrong place, only God knows. In other words, I'm saying, bear in mind all the time that it can be any time and dramatically any time. That's what I mean. It can happen dramatically without expectation. So nothing and nobody must prevent you from being ready and at right with God. Number 7, time. If you have allowed what I've said to you to go down, you will feel the way I feel. Since that day, time has suddenly become more valuable to me than ever before. More valuable to me than ever before. Time has suddenly become more valuable than ever before as I continue to look at the eternal. Reminding myself always that I am a being. I am a human being. I'm a being. I'm a being made for the eternal. I'm a being made to prepare for the everlasting. I'm a being made for a heavenly home. I'm a being with an abode somewhere beyond this earth. I must do more. I must work harder while I'm here. I must leave nothing that I should have done undone. I should leave nothing that I should have repaired unrepaired. I must leave nothing that I should have sorted out and dotted all the I's and T's undotted. I must leave out nothing that requires amendment in my life and in the life of those around me entrusted to my care. I must leave nothing unamended that ought to be amended, because I know that I'll answer for it if I do not even make those around me to amend their ways, see that they change and do the right thing. It requires time. So with all this now, you can see that time is not even enough. It's like time has only become more valuable as I realize that I have this to do. Even those around me, am I helping them to amend their ways? Am I preparing for the home abroad? Have I repaired the things I should repair? Have I sorted out the things I should sort out? Since I don't know when it will be, maybe to be dramatic, maybe to be prepared, given notice, so there's so much to put in place, to set in order, and all that. So time has suddenly become more valuable than before. Every minute is now precious time. And I just hate to see people now wasting my time. I keep telling people, you are wasting my time. There's no time for talking rubbish, no time for dilly-dallying, no time for, there's just no time. So time is now of more essence to me than before. Number 8. This is a time to love. A time to be more generous. A time for sharing. A time for giving. This is not a time for hoarding. Whatever time you have now, between now and the day you are called, or like I say, before you see the disappearance of the earth you are used to and finding yourself running to the other side to take a place, you have to know one thing. The time whenever it is. And remember, I'm not just talking about coronavirus. Nobody has said corona is going to claim the whole world. Nobody said so. And coronavirus, that you have it as they say, is not a death sentence. But there are other things that can take you out of this world. The time you have is a time for loving. A time for loving. Because only the loving will enter that place. Because it's a home of love. I say it with a smile. It's a place of love. It's so beautiful. I'm prepared by love and of love's richest offering. The mansions, the preparation was made for us with what I call love and love's richest offering. The body and the blood of the only Son of the God of love, shed to the last drop. So we have to be ready to enter that place with love. Generous as he was generous in loving, in giving, sharing everything as he shared. He shared his father with us. He shared his mother with us, because he said, to have seen me is to have seen the Father. Then he taught us to call God Father. So when you pray, say, our Father. You see, he did not say my Father, say, our Father. So he's collective, our. God becomes our Father, his Father, and my Father. So he shared the Father. And then from the cross, he said to John, behold your mother. Mother, behold your son. So he shared his mother. He has shared everything. Then he shared his life. Like the reading we had today. I am the bread come down from heaven, he said in today's reading. I am the bread come down from heaven. Anyone who eats this bread will live forever. And then he said, and the bread that I will give is my flesh for the life of the world. Bread. So, you know how you share bread? You slice it into pieces. You give everybody a piece of bread. So, his body shared as bread so that we may have that eternal life. So, he has shared everything. We too must share. And we too, like him, must become the bread that is broken, that others may have. We must also allow ourselves to be shared. It's one thing to share your money, one thing to share your clothes, one thing to share a room with somebody. What about yourself? What about sharing yourself? Have you shared yourself? Jesus shared. He shared himself. So we too must become, as he gave himself bread that we may have life eternal, we too must become the bread that is broken, that others too may have. In union with Christ Jesus, we become the broken bread. So we must give ourselves to share until we have shared ourselves. It's easier to share things. Do you agree with me? Yes. Much easier to share things. More difficult to share oneself. But we are called to share things and also to share ourselves. We must share. We must share. We must share ourselves. We must share ourselves. And we must share our hearts. As I'm saying we must share ourselves, I'm seeing a heart in front of me, like talking to me. What about the heart? You share yourself? You share your heart? Yes. You share your heart too. Yes. Don't hold your heart. Some people have a way of keeping their heart for one person only. Maybe their husband or their wife. Or some parents, the one child they have, all their heart is on that child. You must share even your heart. Love as many as your heart can carry. Allow yourself to have a large heart so you can share your heart. Jesus was able to contain the whole world in his heart. You too, we can stretch our hearts and love as many and carry them in our hearts. And it's possible. Don't allow anybody to possess your heart. Don't let anybody on earth to possess your heart so completely that it's just that person. No. No! I say absolute no. Share. Share. Share your life. Share things. Share your heart. Share your love. Share your heart. Contain as many, love as many as your heart can carry. But remember, divine love, not erotic love. Then we must give. And keep giving until it hurts. Give. Don't say I don't have. I normally tell people in those days when I was a novice, I'll tell you, or as a junior sister, I said, you can share a lot. And I think I've said it to some of you when I was giving you lectures when you were in training. You can always share a knot. Pick up a knot, peanut. It looks whole. But because God who made the peanut has made it to be a lesson for us, that the peanut, small as it is, we call it groundnut. Here. You pick up groundnut, it looks like one whole. By the time you skin it, you find that you can split it into two. That is to tell you that as small as the peanut or the groundnut is, you can share it. That's why it already has a partition in it. Just do this, and somebody has a taste. Each one has a taste of the peanut. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So you can give, and you can give anything. Nobody can say, I don't have anything to give. That's what I'm trying to say. Many tend to say, I have nothing to give. I'm too poor. And I tell them, you can share a lot. Unless you don't want to. Then you can eat the two parts of the knot by yourself. I'm speaking in parables. This is not a time for hoarding. No hoarding. And this coronavirus days calls us to go and bring out those things we have in our stores, that we are keeping for ourselves, and share them out, give them out, that everybody may have a little bit. No hoarding. All that money you've accumulated in your bank, bring it out, unless you can't find anybody else to give that needs it. Then you can leave it there. But as long as you can identify A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, the widow, the poor, the beggar on the road, somebody, go and get your money out of the bank and give out something. And I'm calling everyone in the PLD family today to please look around, don't be blind. This is not a time for being blind to those around you. Look around and see, whom can I give something? Who can I give something? Yes, we are trying to practice social distancing, wearing our face mask, sanitizing, indoor, stay at home, they say stay at home. Okay, as I was saying to the committee the other day, we may want to stay at home, but what do we do with our poor on the streets? What do we do? We had a meeting on Monday. We concluded, simple as ABC, give them what they need for a month, give them a month's supply. Then you can, with a clean conscience, stay indoors. If you have not given them what they need to take care of themselves, then we have no business sitting inside the house afraid of coronavirus. Because the poor will die of hunger before coronavirus has killed them. They likely die of hunger before corona takes their life. So how do we do it? And like I said to them at the meeting we had on Monday, we had a phone conference because we cannot meet physically. You need a mask? Yes, all of us are talking about wearing a mask. And I said, what about my poor on the streets? What about the homeless? What about the beggars on the road? Do they even realize that they need a face mask? Do they know what is happening? They are sitting down there begging for alms on the streets. I don't know, other countries may not have them sitting on the streets, but in this country we have them sitting on the streets, lined up, hundreds. Have they got their mask? You are wearing a mask. Have you thought of the poor that they need a mask? Okay, self-isolate. Take precautions, stay home. The only way you and I can stay home, dear PLD family, the only way we can stay home comfortably and with peace of mind and self-isolate is by ensuring that they have enough. That they have enough. We have to find out, do they have enough? Can they be taken care of without us? Otherwise, give them what they need. And then you can withdraw. If you don't give enough for a period of a month or two, or make sure, then it means we have to go and get permits from the police to continue to do our work. That's what we're talking about. To the glory of God, as of today, so many are sending lists of widows, orphans, people that need help. Yeah, because you cannot afford to hide yourself inside your house, eating and drinking, and say you're running away from coronavirus, when somebody else who also needs to stay at home is starving inside the house. We have a responsibility. Okay, now, our own one organization cannot see everybody. So I am throwing it out to everyone. Just you look around, my next door neighbor, 3 houses down, 4 houses down. Is there anybody who has to isolate but does not have enough? A mother with kids, a single parent not working. Okay, some countries, their government is giving, they're giving. Our country, well, they're trying to give our population, can it go round? Can you be the one to fill the gap? The government is doing something. What the government is doing, will it reach every door? What about those under the bridge? Everywhere. Okay, government does its own. Then you and I have to try to fill the gap in between. By just looking maybe 3-4 houses down there. 3-4 houses down there. Is there anybody I can share with? That's what we're talking about. No hoarding. This is not a time for hoarding what anybody has. It's a time for giving. If we all come out alive from this corona, I believe that God will replenish our purses. He will make a way for all of us. So that whatever you think you've given out will surely come back to you. And even if it doesn't come back, the point is that we are all there, alive, and we are all well. And nobody who should have been alive has died of hunger. or starvation or lack. So, as we go, everybody look around. Who does not have a face mask on the road out of poverty? Maybe we should all be going about now with face masks in our pockets. Extra. You find one who doesn't have, you give one. Yes, that's what we have decided to do. And everybody should try to do that. This is a time, opportunity to be your brother's keeper and your neighbor's neighbor. So, remember that what you keep and refuse to give out on that day, it will be too late to give it out when you realize that it might prevent you from entering your mansion in heaven. Because by then, by the time you come to that reality and realization, you're already leaving the earth when it dawns on you. Because it's when the soul begins to depart, a certain knowledge of all your failings and shortcomings just suddenly dawns on you. But the pity is that when that happens, you cannot go back to your body. The soul cannot return on its onward journey, ready to face the God who is waiting. And so, we have to do something. We have to do something while we can, or else it will be too late. And of what value will all that you have hoarded be to you if you did not give it out now at the right time? It will only bring you deep regrets. Regrets only as your body is left behind and your soul proceeds onto the new world, which is actually its eternal destination. You just be full of regret, but the point is it will be irreversible regret. Irreversible regret. You can't take it back. You can't undo it. You just have to move on. And that will be really, really, really a pity. Because then all that you hoarded cannot make you draw back at that point to make the necessary amendment. It will be too late. May God Almighty save our souls. Finally, I'd like us to look at a sentence there in Revelations that says, I am coming soon. Revelations 22:12. Look, I am coming soon, and my reward is with me, to repay everyone as their deeds deserve. These words are true. And they will surely come to pass. He is coming. And he is coming soon. And he is coming with his reward. And he will reward each one. But how? According to their deeds. It is those deeds we've been talking about. And they can be much more than I have spoken about. Look for your own deeds and begin to do them, that you may gain your reward when he comes. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. For assignment, today I have homework to give everybody who has listened to me. For your assignment, I give you Isaiah 58 to read. Isaiah chapter 58. Read it, verse 1 to the end. And that will also help us to know some of the other things we should be doing that we are not doing right. And yet we are fasting, we are praying to get to heaven. We are even fasting and praying for coronavirus to vanish from the earth. In Isaiah 58, you will hear what the Lord has to say about praying and fasting, but not doing it right. Some people are praying and fasting, but not doing what is right. So you look at Isaiah 58, verse 1 to the end. After that, I would like you to read your Exodus, which you are very familiar with. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 to 19. When you have read Exodus 20, 1 to 19, I would like you then to go and read Psalm 50. It is 51 in some Bibles. Have mercy on me according to your kindness. After that, you now begin Psalm 121. Psalm 121. May Almighty God continue to give us strength to rise above where we are. All of you who have heard me, it is my prayer that you enter into the experience that God gave me that night of 1st November 2018, 12:20 a.m. An experience I'll never forget. I really wish everybody would go into it and feel how I felt, so that you can begin to fine-tune your lives ready for whenever the Master comes. May He find us, that we have not disappointed Him. May He find us. May that day find us ready to run with joy into the place He has prepared for us through Christ our Lord.
Amen.